The microphone was still on. Robert Durst didn't know that. He walked into a bathroom, closed the door, and began talking to himself. What the hell did I do? Killed them all, of course. That sentence would reopen a murder case that had been cold for 15 years and expose a crime hidden behind money, loyalty, and fear. This is the story of Susan Berman and the man who tried to erase her. Susan Berman lived surrounded by secrets. She was the daughter of a mob associate, a journalist, a fixer. She knew how to protect dangerous men and how to stay quiet. But Susan wasn't just close to Robert Durst. She was essential to him. When Durst's wife vanished in 1982, Susan spoke for him. She calmed reporters. She shaped the story. She lied. For him. And by the year 2000, police were asking questions again. Susan had agreed to talk. She never got the chance. December 24th, 2000, Beverly Hills. Susan Berman was found face down on her bedroom floor. One gunshot. Back of the head. No signs of struggle. No robbery. No forced entry. This wasn't rage. This was control. But the most disturbing detail didn't come from the crime scene. It came before police arrived. An anonymous letter had been sent to authorities. One word written on the envelope, cadaver. Inside, Susan's address. Whoever sent it knew she was already dead. Robert Durst showed no visible emotion, no public grief, no urgency, no fear. That alone raised alarms. Detectives soon noticed something else. The handwriting on the cadaver letter looked familiar. Years later, experts would testify it matched Durst's writing. But in 2000, Durst had something more powerful than evidence. He had money and time. The case stalled. Susan Berman became another unsolved murder. Or so it seemed. In 2001, Durst fled New York. He hid in Galveston, Texas, disguised as a mute woman. There, another man disappeared. His neighbor. Police found the body in pieces, floating in the bay. Durst admitted to killing him, admitted to dismembering him, and then Durst told the court that on September 28, 2001, he arrived at his apartment to find his neighbor sitting inside without an invitation. Black, who had a key to Durst's apartment, was watching television when Durst arrived. Durst said Black allegedly had a kind of look on his face that he took to mean that he was angry with me. While testifying, Durst gave no explanation as to why Black would have been mad at him, but he said that he immediately feared that Black had taken the gun that Durst had stored in his oven. When Durst asked Black where the gun was, Black allegedly stood up and pointed the gun at Durst. I was concerned that Morris was going to shoot the gun, most likely at my face, Durst testified, according to a court transcript. Durst said he grabbed for the barrel of the gun, and the two men tripped and fell to the ground. During the fall, Durst claimed the gun went off, even though he never touched the trigger. We never really wrestled. I went to pull the gun, and the gun didn't move. He moved, and the two of us fell back, Durst testified. I pushed myself up on my left hand, and I saw blood on the side of Morris's nose, Durst added. The jury believed him. This moment is critical, and often misunderstood. It wasn't just an acquittal. It was confirmation that Durst believed he was untouchable. In 2015, filmmakers, sat across from Durst, with cameras rolling. They weren't Elise. They weren't prosecutors. They were storytellers. Durst talked and talked and talked. What the documentary didn't fully show, investigators were already watching. Evidence was quietly being re-examined. The handwriting link was real. Then came the bathroom. Durst believed he was alone. He wasn't. By the time the cameras rolled, Robert Durst believed he was safe. He had survived decades of suspicion and even walked free after admitting to a killing. Silence had always protected him. During the interview, filmmakers confronted Durst with the cadaver letter. For the first time, he looked shaken. He asked for a break, stood up, and walked into a bathroom. He forgot one thing. The microphone was still on. Alone, believing no one could hear him, Durst spoke softly to himself. What the hell did I do? Killed them all, of course. Those words weren't meant for anyone else, but they were heard. And within hours of the episode airing, Robert Durst was arrested, ending decades of silence with a single, unguarded moment. Prosecutors didn't argue emotion. They argued pattern. A wife who vanished, a friend who knew the truth, a neighbor who was killed, same man, same control, same lack of remorse. In 2021, the jury reached its verdict. Guilty, life without parole. Susan Berman finally had justice. Robert Durst died in prison in 2022. Kathy Durst's body was never found. Some questions will never be answered. But one thing is clear. Susan Berman was not collateral damage. She was silenced because she knew too much. Robert Durst believed secrets could outlive people. He was wrong. Sometimes the truth waits. Some stories don't end when the screen goes dark. Some questions never get answered, and some truths are buried on purpose. At Insight, we don't chase rumors. We follow evidence. We question silence. And we uncover the stories others want forgotten. If you believe the truth matters, even when it's uncomfortable, subscribe to Insight, because every crime has a story, and every story deserves insight.